Alrighty, hello you fellow Dusty Dogs and drivers of the trail out there. My name is Dusty Yoda here for DIRT Gaming, coming back after way too freaking long to do more streaming for Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. I don't know why I said more streaming, this is literally the first time I started this one. Yeah, it's been nearly a month since I streamed last. God, I hate, why are you active? Why is the sound on? Why? Streamlabs, what are you doing? Not Streamlabs, Stream Manager on Twitch, what are you doing? Oh my god, that's why I've been having trouble streaming, because this stupid thing is just all in my face again. Anyways, also I apologize if you hear a noise in the background. That is my fan going because it's friggin' hot out here. It's the middle of summer, which is another reason why I don't like streaming much. Because I'm hot, all I want to do is just lay down under a fan and do nothing. But that being said, if I'm going to get back into streaming again after a month, it's probably a good idea to do something that I really like. Hence, one of my favorite series of all time, and my favorite game in that series of all time, Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. This is absolutely one of my favorite games of all time. Is it the best game? No. It's one of my favorites, though. It sincerely is. As far as platformers go and everything, it's like one of my absolute favorites. It has its own flaws even among this series that I will totally admit, but for some reason, I just like this one the best of all of them. It's got my favorite environment, some of my favorite environments, some of my favorite levels in the entire series, and some of my favorite music tracks in the entire season. I'm not just talking about Rocket, which I do admit is a pretty damn good one. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff you'll see later that I really, really like about this one. But yeah, this is also the one. I will get a little bit more into it later, but yeah, this is also one of the major ones that came up in a, if you want to learn more about it, you can go see my DIOD Bites, Dusty and the Bandicoot, Season 1, Episode 3, and that'll give you more information on it, but for right now, let's just get into it.
Crystals, of course. No!
But Dr. Cortex, to reach full power, we need not only your master crystal, but also the remaining 25 slave crystals from the surface. How do you expect to retrieve them when we don't have any Earthbound operatives left?
You fool! Do you think I'm unaware of the situation? If we don't have any friends left on the surface, then we'll need to find an enemy.
Crash! Dad! My battery is fried. Make yourself useful, big brother, and bring an extra battery for me.
Okay, yeah, here we go. We have a little bit of a prologue level to start out with. In the original PlayStation version, this was skippable, but in the newer version, nope, it's a full-on thing that you gotta do first. But I'm also, like, watching everything, so... And I will be watching all of the cutscenes and everything, as much as I can get. But yeah. Spin you out of the way. Did pick up an extra life, which will be helpful to me at start. I could probably go through this game no death, but I'm going to make a couple of efforts to make things easier and more time efficient, so it's probably not going to be. One part in particular could screw me up so bad, like, that would ruin a run for me, but yeah.
Well. If it isn't Crash Bandicoot, welcome. I apologize for the crude means used to bring you here, but I'd rather expect a written invitation would have been turned down. I need your help. Surrounding you are a series of 5 doors. Through each door lies a well-hidden crystal. The crystals look like this. Bring me the crystals, Crash. That is all I will say for now. We will speak again.
Alright, first up, we're going to go into Turtle Woods. And to do something funny, we're going to exit Turtle Woods.
No, Crash. I said bring me the crystals. Now, get back in there.
Okay, fine, we'll do it. Well, actually, isn't this the guy who was trying to kill me in the last game? Let me have second thoughts about this one more time. Not too sure about this. Maybe I need a little bit more convincing.
No, Crash. To save the world, I need crystals. Crystals! One more time. They look like this. Crystals, Crash. Go back through one of those doors and bring me crystals.
Well, you talked me into it. Of course, now the irony is the first thing we're going to do is not go for a crystal. We're going to go for a special gem that we can find here. We'll probably pick up the crystal along the way, but that's not what the entire reason we're going through the first time. And also, I'll be able to show you the difference between what might classify a death run and a no-death run. Oh, shit. I broke one. Not what I intended to do. I intended to pick myself up a couple more Wampa Fruit just so I could try and get a little bit of my health back, because I'm going to lose a life. Yeah. Oh my god, there's another one?
Look up at the doorways. There is a big crystal-shaped slot. Fill all 5 crystal slots in this warp room by retrieving 1 crystal from each of the 5 areas. Only after we have filled all of the slots in this room can we continue on our quest. This is the last time I remind you.
Okay, I'm now tempted to see if there's like a thing where he just tries to kill me outright as soon as I leave, but I think I'm going to leave it there. I think we'll just go... We'll do what he asks this time. For real. Okay. So what I'm going to do is not go for a crystal, although I will probably pick it up along the way, because crystals are pretty obvious along the route. But what I'm aiming for is a gem. In this gem, somewhat counterintuitively, according to the rest of the game, I have to hit no boxes. Pretty easy on this one, somewhat complicated to do on other ones, so... There's still a few portions that might throw me off a little... That might throw you off a little on this one, but not really that many. Not many issues to be had trying to avoid stuff in this one's level 1. They're not going to throw too much at you at once here. I am going to try and just stick to the sides, though. Although I'm also going to try and avoid enemies, because sometimes I can spin them into the... spin or slide, because that's a new thing from the first one. Alright, this one here. Hit that middle box so it gets a bounce. Not an immediate break. Oh, and I almost got the slide to work. It didn't want to quite work. The slide jump. The slide spin jump gives you a little bit extra compared to even a slide jump. Especially in terms of airtime. There's our crystal. We'll go ahead and pick that up just because we're here. I don't want to deal with the mole pit. There we go. Alright. The difference sometimes between a death run and a no death run is me exiting the level now versus... Oh, hey, if I want to get everything without leaving the level, I can always do this. I like to go the more efficient route. And now we'll go back through and break all the boxes. You can try and go back to front and go back to the start of the level. It won't actually do that unless you reset the level in some way. So you can only collect 1 gem at a time for this particular thing. Ah! And of course, this level actually does throw you a couple of weird oddballs already at the start. By also having you use the new belly flop compared to the first game. Booyah! know if this is a hard path or a secret area. It's probably just a secret area because it's not indicated by a skull and crossbones, which will be... I think we'll see one pretty... Nah, it takes a while, actually. It takes a while before we see our first. Ah, shit. But I can use the slide jump to get up there. Couldn't in the original. You needed the ostrich to stay up in the original one. But in this one, you have the slide spin jump, which gives you a little bit extra height to access that, as opposed to a regular slide jump, which gets you close, but not quite. And we have a nitro detonator. Nitros also are new. They will explode on contact if you haven't played the series before, so good to stay away, and then just activate them later. Take a sip of a drink here. But there we go with that. With that done and out of the way, rest of the level's pretty straightforward. Bonus round. Actually has a fair amount of Wumpa Fruit this time, so even this one will be pretty profitable. Booyah! The mud slows me down, which will also be a factor in time trials, but not a huge one here. I will be doing the time trials. We do get the speed shoes at the end of this. Extra advantage of that. But I'll be holding off on those till the end of the game again. Just because there's a lot of portions where, especially in this one, the speed shoes can be the difference between a Sapphire, lowest rank one, and a Platinum. There we go. No double jump, so I do have to make do with some of the other methods of getting higher. Fuck the mole pits. That's another thing. You couldn't spin your way out of them in the old one. You couldn't slide jump your way out of them in the old one. You had to actually use the... If you kill all of them, a mushroom appears, and that allows you to jump up. But the slide spin jump just makes it easier, and I don't have to deal with them, which is especially important when you're trying to do a time trial. But that's 3 already for this one. Crystal to gems. 2 gems. Victory sip. And now we'll finally get decent congratulations and move on as normal.
Well done, Crash. I knew I could rely on you. Now listen carefully. These holograms are hard to maintain. During the course of my intellectual pursuits, I have stumbled across a force that threatens to destroy the world. The crystals are the only means of containing it. The fate of the world is at stake. It is imperative, therefore, that you bring them to me.
Are you there, Crash? Crash! Crash! Are you there, Crash? There, Crash?
Well, that's interesting. Why would our sister be trying to do anything with us? Well, I suppose we did kind of disappear on her, but yeah, she's probably just looking out for us. Anyway, Hang 8. Hang 8's another one where we'll need to do the same thing as I did with the previous one if I want to try and be efficient about this all. So we're going to go all the way to the end of the level, lose a life, and then come right on back and do everything else at start. From the start, I mean. Wow, why are you showing me nothing on 1315? You dumb? Streamlabs is just a whack. Twitch lately has been a whack for me. Ooh, I can get a... This is not going to last very long, but... I can hit this. And then a timer starts activated, and I have to make it to the end of the level in order to get the other gem for this. I will be able to get all the gems in here because I got the blue gem from the other one. So, getting that other one was a good thing for me to do. And in case you're wondering, time trials were not present prior to this. I mean, in this game, even in the normal version, the standard PlayStation version. So, yeah, those were a thing introduced in Warp, so this was almost like the predecessor to the time trials. And once again, I can collect a life to reduce the impact of the one I will lose. And make it with 12 seconds left on the clock. Very nice. But of course, 16 out of 74 ain't gonna get me anything else, so bye! Can't swim, so bye-bye. Alright, now we can go through normally. Oh, yeah, and the thing I was gonna mention earlier. This is the particular game that, I have played through this like 100 times, and I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding about that number. It's like 100 to 120 times at this point. 75 of those were... I had a year in college where I did terribly at nearly all of my classes. I had like 2 failures. I had a failure, a D, like a full... I'm talking full-on flunk out failure. I had a D that was basically a pass, but in order to get to any rank up above that, I would need to do one other... I would need to retake the class and get a C or better. And I also had a class that I had to leave and take a withdrawal credit, basically saying, like, I did not complete this course and I passed too far for it to not count again. I passed a mark that made it too far for it to not count on my record. So I kind of had to rethink, like, what I wanted to do with myself for a very long while, and, like, where were my choices and all of that. And, I did find a way, like, pretty shortly afterwards, but I did enter, like, a period of what I would call, like, a mild depressive period. Where I was just like, I don't know what I want to do with myself. Nothing is interesting to me right now. Everything is just kind of sucky. Because I had all these, like, grand plans with what I wanted to do with a particular major. And because of the way I was running the courses for that major... Oh, that was also after I had my, That's another story in and of itself, but, that was also the one where... I think that was also the same year that I had my, I realized I might have PTSD. Or at least a mild form of anxiety related to something that now occurs whenever I go into certain areas. Or deal with certain subjects. I don't like to, like, deal with certain, like, subjects and things like that, so yeah. More on that one later, but yeah. So... one of the things that I found easy to do was just like, oh, this is a game that I'm familiar with. I will just pick this up and start playing it. And I found it was really, really easy for me to play like one warp room a night, because one warp room would take me like 30 minutes. So I would finish a warp room in like 30 minutes, and then I'd be done for the day. And I'm like, okay, I at least did something that I enjoy doing. There are 5 warp rooms in this game total. And I was able to just kind of complete one warp room at a time. So I would basically get like 20% of the way through, call it quits, and be good. And then I would do another one, and I would do another warp room the next night, and I would complete the game, literally start Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday the game would be completed. And then the next week I did it all over again, and I did that for a year and a half. So there's like 75 or 80 times within a month and a half period that I completed this game. I am not even kidding. Like, I went through this game a lot. But it helped kind of break me out of that mild depressive state, because I was like, oh, I could do something else. And then I started adding in Crash 1 and Crash Warped into the mix. And yeah, so I totally, like... I was going to say blame... No, I totally applaud this game for being able to do that. And that was back on the original PlayStation version, so... You could probably tell how my disc got worn out.
Interesting. Well, Crash, know this. As long as you are allied with Cortex, you are my sworn enemy, and I will do anything in my power to stop you. If the fate of the world is truly your concern, you must gather the gems, not the crystals. If you obtain all 42 gems, I can use them to focus a laser. Yes, a laser beam that will destroy Cortex and the space station he has created.
Where'd you learn how to get rubber hose? Anyways. Snow Go. I have no major things that I need to do with the masks anymore, so I think I'll just do the rest of them in order. But yeah, so that was a thing. That was a whole issue for me back in college. That was... But yeah, you can hear a little bit more about that on DIOD Bites. DIOD Bites, S1, E3, Dusty and the Bandicoot. As well as more interesting stuff that I have with this game. Not about the chem story. That's a different one. Not about the... That's an interesting one. I don't know if you call it mild PTSD or if it would be something else, but basically, certain acids will cause me to go crazy and get anxiety. Because I actually burned my hand with one in junior college. And it became... I hate the ice physics. I'm sorry. I hate the ice physics in this game. People are like, oh, it's smoother and stuff like that. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's harder. It's harder. The other one, as soon as like you sit down, you would go. Like, no issue. There we go. There's a gem here that I will not be able to get that requires a alternate entrance, but we should be able to do that even before this one's up. And that's with me taking a while to get things started off. Also, yes, you're seeing me be a compulsive collector of everything again. That's gonna happen again anytime I play one of this series. It's one of the reasons that Crash 4 absolutely, It's About Time absolutely drives me mad. It would be my favorite game of the series if not for that compulsive collecting, meaning that, oh my god, why have you turned this series into a rage game? Which is also funny to me, because for other people I've seen, this is a rage game. This is absolutely, like, for some reason, like the Crash Bandicoot series, the most clear memory I have of somebody else playing this is Markiplier trying to play through it and getting stuck on like the beginning of the third island in the first game. And I was like, oh yeah, that's why am I fine and everybody else this is a rage game. There we go. There's a bunch of nitro crates on an alternate path, so it's a good thing to have that out of the way. How did I miss the penguin? There we go. Meanwhile, for me, on the new one, I can still get like 99 lives by the time I finish the game. And it's getting to the point where Stormy Ascent is one of those where I maybe only lose like 10 lives at a time. Stormy Ascent is like actually freaking difficult. Like, as somebody who enjoys this series immensely, Stormy Ascent is motherfucking difficult. Whoa! Okay, I'm seeing what it's doing on the other end there. Why are you that bad? Twitch! Feedback? What? I don't know if it's like ever been since they did the new Stream Manager or something like that, but this quality is bad. I can see that.
3 crystals. Not bad. I see you are getting the hang of it. I need to conserve power. I will communicate with you again after you retrieve the 5th crystal.
Alrighty, so let's head on to 4. I actually have a mask here that'll help a little bit at start here. Quality issues, though, I can't say anything about internet. The internet is just something that I can't be able to fix, but I know I am getting actually parts to upgrade my PC. So that's something that'll also be nice. Once I get my new PC upgraded, that'll be a little extra power and stuff like that in there. So that'll also help out a little bit, at least with the quality issues, at least being able to take higher speeds and higher resolutions without being too much of an issue. Okay, I'm going to hold for a little bit just so I can collect all of this. Alrighty, up here there is a split in the path, which actually leads us to the first of the problems with this technical game. Technical problems with this game, I should say. But I want this way because I need something to activate something on this path to clear something up on the other one. There we go. This right here. Same purpose as the other game. Come on. There we go. that. And now I have to make my way backwards in order to get all the boxes on the other side. But as you can see, the camera don't draw back very far if it's not a level that is a backwards or supposed to be taken backwards. So like I'm going to be playing level 5 shortly, and 5 is a run to the screen level, and it does fine. This one doesn't. This one kind of I have to guess, or I've played this so many times that I can kind of know where everything is. So that wasn't too bad. But like for example, there's a level I'll have to do this again later, and it's a nasty one. Trying to do that because it does not keep it away very often. The original game actually would. The original game, if I turned it around, would give maybe double this distance. But yeah, so we just have to deal with it. And it's not hard to work around. I've been able to... I can still very easily 104, I think it is for this one. If you do all the relics. There we go. We're avoiding the moles again. Let me in. Oh, and we got our first metal crate, which actually needs the body slam for. I use it semi-gratuitously for other reasons, but I like it. Okay. There we go. Keep those for heading back over. If you find me going quiet when I have to do a series of boxes like that, it's because I'm counting them. My brain has trouble doing, like, both of them simultaneously if I'm just sitting here. If I'm trying to talk and count boxes and figure out, like, oh, when do I have to jump? No, that doesn't happen. So, quiet. Shit! I have to do the whole bonus round over, and I'm probably going to lose out on the lives because it does that. The game's stupid like that. Slide jump also was not possible, so the easiest way to get down there in old versions of the game was to... Yep. Yeah, this one's been changed from a life one to a Wumpa Fruit. And so have these, so I won't even get the 3 lives that I was supposed to get out of this. I'll probably only get like 1 and a little extra Wumpa Fruit. There we go. Yeah, 102. That's enough for me to get, like, 1 life out of this instead of, like, the almost 4 I could have gotten if I had kept the lives after not dying the first time. It only sets us back a little bit. I'll still hit 99, I think, by the end. There we go. The less I have to deal with, I think they're moles, the better. They're just annoying. They're not bad. Yeah, they're just annoying. Especially in the first one, in the original PlayStation version. The mice in the pit, every single one of those pits in the pits would spawn 5. And if you jumped on like 5 objects in a row, it would give you a life. So the first one would give you nothing. The second one would give you 1 Wumpa Fruit, because you now have chained it. The third, I mean, would now give you 2 Wumpa Fruit. Oh, here's the backwards one. So yeah, you can notice it's a little bit further back, so the camera's a little bit more polite compared to what it was in the pits. But this is also about the distance it would stay if you were just trying to do a regular level going backwards in the original PlayStation. But anyways, oh, but what was I thinking? Oh yeah, so original PlayStation version, you hit you jump on top of one enemy, and it would give you nothing. You hit a second enemy, and it would give you a Wumpa Fruit. You hit a third enemy, it would give you 2 Wumpa Fruit. You hit a fourth enemy, it would give you 3 Wumpa Fruit. But if you hit a fifth enemy, it would give you a life from chaining it. Apparently, there are some cheats where you can actually chain enough enemies together via either like spawn rates or something like that, or just glitches and stuff like that, where you could actually get yourself to upgrade to like multiple lives and then to a crystal. Like you could get like 100 lives or a crystal just out of like chaining certain things in the original versions of the game. I don't know if that's still possible. I myself don't know how to pull off those cheats, but that's something apparently you could do. And the way they did the way they made the mice in this one, I could never pull that off successfully. Oh, I got a count box. This will give me one moment. All of them are 5. So I have to count to 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, move. So yeah, I just have to keep doing that every time I do that, because bridges like that tend to be a mess. If I'm not paying attention, I will just fall right through. But yeah, so the positioning of the mice in this one just is not feasible for doing the chaining, so I just don't even care with them anymore. But that would be a way that you could get, like, in the pits, you get like 3 extra lives for doing it. I do want to slide a little bit here to get a little bit extra space between me and the boulder, because there's boxes here. And I just want to make sure I have enough time to smack them. No, okay, it broke him. It wouldn't break them in the original. It wouldn't count for your total. But that's Warp Room 1. Not quite done. We have like a boss, and then I gotta enter the Secret Wrath for Snowgo, but we'll be able to do that pretty easily. Kind of trying to time it for an hour-ish, but yeah. Not always the easiest. Oh, but now we have Ripperoo open. And that's a hell of a mustache he's got on him since last time. Ripperoo attacks by length TNT, vaguely similar to his old one. He's just refined his area a little bit. And then he will lay down nitros. You will explode if you touch the nitro squares, so... And you will also explode if you're within 1 square. So you want to wait for him to blow himself up, and then hit him when he's vulnerable. And there's usually at least 1 square free space for you to sit on. Ease peas. And then this one's the tricky one. This one I believe I can walk... Yeah, I can walk over the tiles, but I cannot on the nitro. But I have to start over here and then wait for them to explode before moving down here. And these 2 squares, I've checked, are the only squares that I am safe. Kaboom. And blow up. And once again, Ripperoo is defeated. And he even got a downgrade, and we beat him. Poor guy. Alrighty, next warp room. Where we'll get a short message, but we're not going to be here for too long in the warp room, so...
I see that Ripperoo failed to prove much of a challenge yet again. But back to business. There are crystals to be gathered, 20 to be exact.
Oh my god, I caught him in regular animation.
Will align shortly, all 13 of them, and this will create a power great enough to rip the Earth apart. Properly utilized, however, the crystals can absorb and contain the energy.
you? I've been looking everywhere. I don't have much time to tell you this. You have to be careful. Trusting Cortex seems a little unwise, Crash. I can't keep the data path open much longer. Crash, you need to...
I actually kind of like that because it gives the impression that Crash was not paying attention. That's a glitch. I didn't mean for him to do that. Usually he pays attention, does the, like, animation that you saw in the original ones. But, yeah, for some reason he just didn't want to do it that time. Anyways, secret path. We need Air Crash. Yeah, so Air Crash will present its own difficulties when we get to it. As a matter of fact, it's another one that needs an alternate entrance for us to complete. But for right now, bog standard. We'll pick up a mask, because that will also be helpful when I do the alternate route. Grab a checkpoint, and I don't want the board. I just want to hit these. There we go. Yep, they are spaced just enough apart where you can hit them, bounce on them, activate your secret. Boo heckin' yeah. And that gives us a secret warp room area and the ability to go to Snow Go. And this is what I mean by completing a warp room. Completely doing everything like this. Avoid you, because you were spinning. Booyah! Mask, thank you. Oh, yeah, the penguins are invulnerable when they are spinning around like that. Alright, I gotta be careful here because there's gonna be, yep, penguin next to Nitro that can very easily make it explode. Alright, forward. This is not the easiest, the best section to have the mask on, but it's good to know that I'm at least full. Get a lot of lives from this one. I'm going to wait for just a moment here for it to wear off. Now I'll do this, because this is going to be nice for the rest of it. Including going through this one by blowing up all of the Nitro. Get rid of all of these guys. And a belly flop down to the red gem. In the old way, there was a way you could apparently do the slide spin jump in order to grab it. I'd never been able to figure that out. For some reason, I don't know, I tried doing the slide spin jump, and supposedly it was as easy as activate in that version, in the original PlayStation version, as it is in this one. I don't know. I never could get it to pull off successfully. So I'm not sure what those other people were doing. I'm not inept at these games, as you can obviously see. But, yeah, for some reason, that just never wanted to work out for me. Ooh, we'll be able to do one of my favorite things. Oh, that 47 out of 74 is satisfying for some reason. The mirror image number. I don't know. It satisfies me in a way that I can't explain. Hey, we do a few more. I don't think there's anything in particular that I have to be able to do next level, though we did get a couple of unlocks. Let me actually save. As you can see, I've played this a couple times already. We'll do this one for my streaming. So yeah, we're already at about 19%. Alright, fanfiction number 2! Get over here, Coco. Yes, we're going to take her along. And I will once again elaborate when necessary, but I have a level that I can do without her, so bear it. I actually might be able to do all of these standard levels this time around and then only have my next stream be time trials. And this is our first appearance of Polar for the series. And even though you think this would be a good candidate for trying to do a time trial without it, nope. The entry and exit sections do technically count on most of the time trials, so I still like having the speed choose for those. Because that also can mean the difference between getting a gold, a platinum, or a sapphire. Polar cannot run into things very well, so you do want to avoid TNT and Nitro. Especially a minefield like this. Little bob and weave here. There we go. Perfect. Landed. All right, let's introduce the fan fiction elements. Actually, no, let's do one more level. And then we'll introduce fan fiction elements. Snowbiz! Actually fairly lengthy. Actually a fairly lengthy level. For so early in the game, it's actually like, I think it's 125. Yeah, 125. That will blow up on with the TNT. I don't think there's anything particularly special about that one, so it's not like a life or a it's not a life crate or a mass crate at all, so I don't care about it too much. All right. And honestly, one of my favorite gem paths in the entire series. Snowbiz. Snowbiz has a couple of neat things in its gem path that I just really like, for some reason. First of all, it is chock full of Wumpa and boxes. Like, I think almost half the boxes in the level are in here. Maybe not half, but like a good 40%. But yeah. I should have looked at the number to give exact, but it just is, especially for where it is and how early you can access it. It just throws in a lot of neat little tricks like this. Or like this. Like almost puzzle type sections. Get everything here. It chucks a ton of Wumpa fruit at you. And then one of my favorite sections, I think, is coming up real soon. It slows down after that section, but it still keeps the other elements in it, which are nice. Ah, yeah, this one here. This massive freaking chain of Wumpa fruit. And boxes. Where, yeah, the compulsive collector in me just like, no, must have everything there. If you see me sliding underneath a lot of those poles, that's because they actually come out a little faster in this section. That's just been something I've adopted for other run-throughs of other areas, even though I don't think any one of them speed down as fast as these. There we go. Yeah, just kind of... Ow! I should have just tried to go through the next one here. Okay, let's wait for you to do a recycle. There we go. I don't like the way the Nitro jump in this one. They tend to be a little bit more of a asshole about jump height and time, so there's a lot of times you'll find me waiting on certain areas or doing the slide jump to get over a Nitro and skipping something over because it's like, why? Why am I going to expose myself to that? I'm not going to. There we go. Okay, this is an annoying one. Yeah, I think I actually did upgrade like 50 boxes from that. From the gem path there. Slide under. I knew you were going to stick your quills out at me. Crouch jumping is a very reliable way to get those ones. Bonus! Okay, here's where the ice starts to really, like, fuck with me. Because I used to be able to just hit the ground running here, and this one, for some reason, even if I'm going at a full speed, it starts me from a standstill almost. And I have to take time to get to speed. As opposed to jump, immediately start sliding. That's where I'm like, oh, the ice physics are different here. I've heard people say it's like more akin to like standard ice physics in other games, but I don't know. I like the ability of Crash basically going along and then like the feel when you have like the socks on a polished wood floor. When you're just able to just be like, run, 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 slide. And as soon as you hit it, you don't stop and sit there for a moment. You run, 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 and you do that little... Is it Home Alone? Da, 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 da. Take those old records off the shelf. Not music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll. Which, by the way, I've never seen the movie full way through. So, don't at me, but it just hasn't appealed. Except that scene is amusing, I will say. I am so going to come under fire for that statement, aren't I? All right, time to incorporate fan fiction again. Because it's been a while. The last time I hit my Crash Bandicoot fan fiction was all the way back in the first one, so yeah. Hey, number 2. We now have Coco in here, actually, as part of this one. But hey, guess what? This is one, so... Obviously, if you've seen, Cortex and Brio have kind of gone their separate ways. Brio is opposing Cortex and asking us to get all the gems so we can actually, like, destroy Cortex's space station. Cortex wants us to get the crystals so that, hey, guess what? We can do that. So, when Crash disappears, we have Coco, who's like, hey, wait a minute, where you go? Oh, wait, he's with Cortex. Oh, shit. And then suddenly gets an invitation from... Okay, here's the especially big divergence point. This is now the fan fiction portion. She would get a note from somebody saying, "Hey, your brother is currently trying to help Cortex. That's not a good thing right now. That's not a good thing right now. The problem he's dealing with is correct, but Cortex is also going to try and use it to control the entire world. So, hey, guess what? We need your help in collecting the gems." So Coco right now would be going through and meeting up with this other people, who would be Brio, and I would reintroduce Tana back in here as a character. I would bring her back in as like a character for the fanfiction to add here, where it's like in the last one it's said that like in the manuals, like, oh, they had a falling out between Crash and Tana. Tana leaves him for Pinstripe from the first game. But for me, it would have been like, oh, well, Pinstripe's actually a gangster asshole. Not a good person to stick around, and Tana would have dumped him. And, been like, I'm kind of interested in him still, and I want to do what's best for him. I can't be together with him, but, hey, I'd rather help him than stand by and do nothing. So Tana and Brio would be kind of like the main opposition force, with Coco joining them on their side and collecting the gems, or collecting some of the crystals so that Crash doesn't just hand all of them over to Cortex at a whim. Because, while I had also imagined... Oh, there's our Hard Path gem. Our first time that we can do that. We cannot do the box gem until I get something extra. But anyways, so yeah, Coco would be doing side mission stuff. So Coco will take 2 certain paths here, and Crash will take the other ones. So Coco, I will primarily be doing the rest of the river levels and the sewer levels that we're going to see later. Let's see where we're at. We're at 55. I'm actually going to go ahead and call it right there. And I'm going to take a short break. And then as we go onwards, we will continue through. If this goes at the speed I think it will, we might be able to finish the normal game by the time I'm done here. And then have only the time trials for next time. So that will be amusing. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to take a quick break. And I will be back in just a moment. In a moment.